evening, good evening, good evening. So we are on our New Year's tip number 6, I think. Yeah, we're on number 6. So tonight I'm going to have a little chat with you about the word stress. Now, everybody has stress in their life, and actually there's positive and there's negative stress. We do actually need stress. Our body is built to fight stress, and we need it to keep us going, to keep us buzzing. But we can have different types of stress. So we can have exciting stress, buying a new home, getting married, that kind of thing. We can have negative stress like too much going on at work, can't cope, la 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 la. Now, the thing is that your body doesn't know, your body and your mind doesn't know the difference between good stress and not so good stress, okay? It doesn't know the difference between your fire alarm going off half an hour ago because you haven't cleaned the oven out and your daughter's saying, "What have you burnt this time?" and a tiger chasing you to go, "Ah." Okay, your body and your brain doesn't know the difference. You'd think it would, but it doesn't. Okay, so it treats everything the same, and our bodies are wonderful. They're full of all these systems to keep us alive, to keep us going. But a lot of the times we're overriding these, and not in a good way. We have got these systems that help us. You know, as soon as we get a bit of stress, we've got the sympathetic nervous system. So our body goes, "Oh, I'm in sympathy with that bit of stress. I'm going to help you." And as I talked about yesterday on the one that I was talking about yesterday. What was I talking about yesterday? Don't know, doesn't matter. Sleep. Sleep. What was the dummies? I don't know. You know, we're kind of overriding these kind of systems that are set up to help us. So when that system jumps into action, lots of different things happen. We've actually got 3 stages of basically a stress situation. So our number 1 is the alarm stage. So something's happening, whether it is, and the other thing to remember is that your stress might be different to my stress. So everybody's stresses are different. It might be work stress, it might be children's stress, it might be that you've missed the bus stress, it might be that I know in 7 minutes time that oven's going to beep or has to go off, so I need to be finished doing this. It can be lots of different things. It can be that you're not losing weight, it can be that you're not sleeping right. There's millions of stresses out there in the world, and we've all got different ones, okay? But what we do have in common is that all our bodies have ways of fighting with it. So we have the alarm stage, so some panic is happening and our body goes into fight or flight. And if you've seen anybody with anxiety or that kind of thing, you see this, you see how it affects them. Actually, you watch how, obviously you try and help them, but you watch how it affects them, and it's fascinating to watch. Not so much when you're in it, but it is fascinating to watch. So the body goes into this panic, right? It's this internal panic, and your sympathetic nervous system goes, boom, right, we're here to help. Everybody else, shut up, we're here, we're sorting it, okay? So lots of your other body systems stop, okay? So your body stops kind of burning fat because it's holding on to it because it might need it to run away from that tiger. So and it starts to look for emergency sugar. So it might be that you're craving something, because it might be that pencil's broken for the 5th time today, but your body thinks that you're still getting chased by a tiger, so that doesn't actually matter. Your blood pressure rises, your blood is pumping through your body because it's got to get ready, it's got to go, it's got to go, it's got to save itself. So that's what it's meant to do, right? And your body then releases things like adrenaline and cortisol. These are your fight or flight hormones. But as I talked about yesterday with sleep, when things like cortisol is put into the body, it has lots of different effects. It will stop you from sleeping. It will stop you from losing weight because your body's holding on to these things because it needs it to save itself. You know, so these are meant to happen, but what if they don't get switched off? Okay, so we have stage number 2, which is the adaptive resistance stage. Now here, our body should go back to normal. Okay, so this is stage number 2. The tiger's gone away, the pencil's been sharpened, the fire alarm went off. Your body should go, oh, okay, we're back to normal. We're not fighting, we're not flighting. Actually, there's also fleeing as well. Fight, flight, flee, fight, flight, flee. Try and say that with a few others in you. Anyway, so it should go back to normal. All the normal body systems should come back online, you know, right, okay, we're sorted, we know what we're doing with our food now, it's going normal places, yeah, our blood pressure can reduce, our breathing's back to normal, we're not sweating anymore, right, okay, we're back to normal. That's what should be happening. And for that to happen, your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. It's the chill out one. It's like, yo, chill, I've got this. Let's ease it off, But if we are in these stressful situations a lot, our bodies begin to lose the ability to kick back. Okay, so the parasympathetic nervous system loses power, all right? And it starts to not be able to bring the body back to normal. So, you know, it's just been triggered too many times. It cannot switch off. So your blood pressure is constantly high. Your fat stores in your body and in your blood are constantly high. You're constantly hungry. You're craving sugar. You're wired but tired. You know, so all these things happen. If you can't get those systems back to normal, so many things happen. Your immune system starts to drop. You're not being able to get vitamins and minerals that you need out of your food. You've got aches and pains in your body because it's constantly on alert. You know, so think about it. If you're stressed, you're like this, yeah? And then when you're not, you're relaxed. So if you're constantly tense like that, your body's gonna start aching. Your muscles are gonna ache. You know, all the bits and pieces inside are gonna ache. Your bone density is gonna go down because you're not getting, I'm looking at that clock, 2 minutes until the oven timer goes off. Your bones aren't getting the vitamins and minerals they need from your food because your digestion's out of whack, because your body can't cope with working on your digestion because it needs everything, because it's in a panic. So do you see what I mean? It's not necessarily, let me come back, so wait and reset. Stage 3, we end up in the exhaustion stage. We end up constantly wired. We can't return to rest at all. We can't cope mentally and physically. And what happens? We pack up. You know, our bodies pack up. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna die, but you might get sick. You might get, you know, lots of different things. I've been there. I ended up 2 years ago, because I wasn't paying attention to, that my body inside was stressed. So outside, I thought I was okay. I knew I was doing bits and pieces. I knew kind of like my breathing wasn't too good, but I would go to the doctor, I would get there. I didn't deal with it. I ended up in a bloody coma for 9 days. You know, I'm not saying you're going to end up in a coma, but shit happens, okay? Turned out I had pneumonia. I didn't know about it. I'd had it for 6 months. Didn't think to deal with it. I had someone in my family, the same thing happened this year. They were stressed with work, really high pressured work, young children, and life is tough sometimes. But, you know, we've got to remember that there's wake-up calls. You know, bless him, he ended up in hospital with pneumonia as well. You know, there's stuff there. Our immune system drops. We catch these viruses. We can't deal with them. And lots of different people have lots of different stresses. And the other thing to remember is that you might not think you're stressed. There we go, there's my timer. Wait there, I'm coming back. I'm back. See, I wasn't stressed, I just turned it off. It's fine, back to talk to you. So we might necessarily not go, oh, no, I'm fine, I don't feel stressed. But think internally, are you doing too much? Are you not sleeping very well? Are you not eating very well? You know, all the stuff I've talked about the past few days, and if you haven't seen those videos, just scroll down, just have a quick look at them. They're short, they're like this. They all matter, you know, and think of what you do every day. Think of what you do every week. And are you just constantly running? Are you running on empty? And I'm not saying you're starving yourself, that's not running on empty. Energetically, emotionally, psychologically, are you running on empty? Do you do anything? Like, do you look at self-care? Do you actually do things for you? We've got to help that parasympathetic system, the one that brings us down. We've got to help it. And we help it by doing things like eating right, by exercising the right way for you. You can go and do a mega hard workout in the gym, and that is stressing your body. Okay, I'm not saying we all do yoga all the time. I love yoga. But it's finding what's right for you. It might be that going and doing a mega hard workout is de-stressing for you. That's fine, I know, not distressing, but de-stressing. It might be that yoga works for you. It might be that going for a walk works for you. You know, looking at some meditations. It might, you know, you don't have to sit cross-legged for an hour and zone out. That works amazingly for some people. Maybe just get the you know, the app on your phone, get the Calm app, 10 minutes a day. Chill the shit out, to be honest. You know, we need to do this, because if not, there's so many people getting sick. I got sick, you know, and you know, okay, I'm all right now, but you can end up with worse things, way worse than I had. And you know, I mean, I stressed out my family because I didn't pay attention to me. Think of it that way. So it's not just about looking after you. You've got to think about the people around you, your friends, your family. You know, how are they going to feel if you're not very well? So I really want you to think about it. You know, don't just do that, I'm coping with everything, I'm fine. Actually think about it. Are you? Have you got too much going on in your life? If so, knock some stuff out. Take some time out. Hubby and I both work at home. Today's Wednesday. We went to the movies this afternoon. I worked all morning, and we went to Mary Poppins this afternoon. We took a little bit of time out, okay? So I want you to think about it. I want to think, you've got to help your body. It's there and it's wonderful, but it needs you to help it as well, okay? I've got my I'm going to show you 3 of my favourite postcards that I have up in my kitchen. Can you see what that says? I don't know if it's backwards or not. Go with the flow. This is like, we've got 2 little doggies at this, and we saw this card, and that's what our little doggie does if she's in the car. She loves that. Okay, so think about this, and here's my favourite one. Bit rude, bit of Audrey. Okay, so think about it. Stress just isn't a buzzword, it's a thing, and it can really hurt you, and it can hurt the people around you. So think if you're stressed, think if anybody else around you is stressed. If you need to go and talk to someone, go and talk to someone. You know, that can sometimes even just speaking out loud. I did this the other day. I said to my hubby, I'm feeling really stressed today. And actually just saying it out loud, some of it left. You know, you've got to look after yourself, all right? It's important. So have a great evening. Go and relax, but think about your day, think about your week, think about your life. How stressy is it? Or if it's not, fantastic, you are on a roll. Okay, I'm going to see you tomorrow for our last little chat. All right, have a great evening. I'm going to switch you off now. Bye, bye.